This is Mike Bot. I'm going to be doing a quick video on upgrading the Bambu X1C with new LED strip lights. So these were purchased off Bambu Lab for 25 bucks Canadian. They are the LED light strip RGB edition with remote control and an app which doesn't work or isn't supported by Android or iOS apparently, even though it says it is. So you'll have to use the remote for the most part. Now unfortunately with the Bambu X1C, it doesn't have the same USB port as the P1S and the P1P. So you're gonna have one of two things you gotta do here to get this thing to power on. You're going to either have to purchase a USB power hub like this, or you're gonna need to get a USB to USB-C little adapter that goes here and plugs in underneath the X1C here. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this started. Basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wrap the LED lights around the glass here and then plug them into that USB hub I just showed and just show you the difference that it's gonna make. So this is what it looks like right now without any lights other than the LED bar. So as you can see, it's not very bright and not the best. Now in comparison, I've done the upgrade on one of my P1Ps, which is technically a P1S now, and this is what it looks like. So you can see it's significantly brighter. So I'm gonna place my camera in a convenient spot somewhere so I can just show you how I'm gonna wrap around these LED lights and then we will proceed from there. All right, start by flipping your glass over, make sure you're on the inside of the glass. So the best way to do this depends on if you're putting it in a P1P or an X1C. So if it's a P1P or P1S, since the USB is on the inside, you want to have the beginning part where the wire goes somewhere around here. Now considering this is an X1C and there is no USB port, I'm going to have to somehow figure out a way to route it outside of the X1C into the USB port. So I may have my cable come into the back here. So what you want to do is you want to start by unwinding this. It's very, very easy. I'm going to speed through this so you don't have to watch me do the wiring, and you want to just circle it around and around and around. There's no right or wrong way of doing it. It's all preference. Note on the X1C, the light may interfere with the LiDAR. That's why you want to get this one that has the remote versus the other one that's $5 cheaper. So like I said, I don't have a perfect solution for the X1C since I got to route it on the outside, but I'm going to try to have the beginning, because if I flip the glass around, the plug is facing. So if I flip this around, the plug is going to be facing this way. So I want the plug end to go there or somewhere in the middle if I want to be versatile. So that's what I will do. So it's all going to be silent from here. I'm going to speed through this in the editing process, so you're not going to watch me do this for 5-10 minutes and just copy what I do or do your own design. Removing the backing tends to be tricky, so you can use an X-Acto knife, but you're going to need to be very careful not to sever anything, because as soon as you do, you're kind of screwed. So one last thing I will add, you're going to see me do something weird with the corners. There is no right or wrong way of doing it, but I'm doing it in a way that doesn't consist of me having to cut the LED and resolder it. The last thing I'll add, make sure you don't do it on the black part, because that's the part that sits inside the printer. And you'll end up crushing the lights and you won't get any light there. So that's all done now. So just a couple things I've noticed with this one versus the $20 version. It's a lot thicker. The adhesive on the back, so it's a lot thicker. The strip is a lot thicker. The adhesive on the back is a lot stickier. And it looks like they all have individual controllers on them. So I think it might be the RGBIC, which means each LED can be controlled individually, I believe. Could be wrong. So you might be wondering, these points here look ugly. The alternative is to cut it and solder it. I'm not doing that. So remember, this is going in your enclosure. You're not going to see it. Yeah, it's a little ugly. If anything, it's going to give you a little bit more peak light in that area, but it works, and it's on there pretty much for good now. I noticed that if you manipulate it too much, it'll snap, so be careful with it. This one seems to be a little bit more sensitive because it's a higher end light. But other than that, the installation is pretty smooth. So what I'll do now is I'm going to go ahead and plug it in and just show everyone what it looks like. So be warned, it's going to be very bright in a second. And then I'll just take the remote out, remove the battery slip, and then I'll show everyone what the light looks like, and then I'll go install it on my X1C and finish this video up. Yep, I was right. Each LED is individually controlled. That's pretty sweet. It's worth the extra $5. So I'll just stop it from going crazy like that. So remember, that's the controller, and you want to aim the remote at it. And then it's got couple pre-done designs. So hopefully down the road, they will make an app that works properly. So I can, oh, gotta stop that. Seizure warning. Hopefully they'll make an app that'll actually run this off Bluetooth versus having to use the remote. But as you can see, very bright, very nice. So I'm gonna go put it back on my X1C and resume the video from there. I got my X1C now. So I will just slip this on top here. And it fits perfectly. So now I need to figure out how to route the USB accordingly. And I think I'm just going to actually just let it dangle out. The wire seems to be thin enough. I'm not going to place the AMS on top, so it's not going to matter. So there we go. I'm just going to let this dangle like this. I'm going to go grab a USB extension cord and plug the hub in right now. Actually, I'm not going to need a USB extension cord. This reaches. I'll just move it forward like that. And grab the remote. The power. Wow. Okay. So let's lower the camera. And look at that. What a difference. Let's play around with some of the settings here. Okay. So that's the current setting. I'm just going to change it to something else. That will make it do a flash. Let's do meteor. So these lights are pretty sweet. So obviously there's a million different uses for them. I wasted them or used them on my X1C here. It does look, it looks decent on top here. It's not too bad. And it gives me a brighter area to work with. Alright, so that's it for today's video. Once the app actually works on my Android, I will do a quick little YouTube short on it. But that's it for today's video. So if you enjoyed it, hit that like button. Questions or comments, please leave them below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I love chatting with my audience. Once again, if you haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. That's it for now. MikeBot, out.